I think we did is drown him. I feel like we took him to deep waters. I feel like I could have fought several more rounds, and I feel like that's where the finish would have came.
Mm-hmm. And welcome back to the show. Here I'm joined today with Danny King Buteau. Danny 5-1 now as an amateur, defending his title for Combat Zone at 145 pounds. Danny, how are you?
Good, thank you, Angelo. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So you just came off of a title fight, 5 rounds for Combat Zone. You defended your title at 145 pounds for featherweight. How does that feel coming off that win?
It feels good. It was satisfying. It was satisfying. That's what I'll say about that one. It was good.
Okay, nice. How did it feel to go 5 rounds? All those 5 rounds.
It was good. We were ready for 5 rounds. One thing I remember, one of the last things my coach told me before going out was basically be prepared for 5 rounds. And, it was a thing throughout camp. I've gone 5 rounds now. Twice with Fred, I went 5 rounds. It was not a TKO. Well, technically a TKO in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But so I've been there before, and that's what we constantly do in practice. Like, I'm constantly going, 10 plus rounds in practice. Mm-hmm. To get ready for 5 rounds. So it was good. I'm glad to get the experience in the cage.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did when you fought Mike, did he do anything inside the cage that kind of threw you off, or did he do everything that you were expecting him to do?
Yeah, he actually had great hand control on bottom. Like, he didn't, I guess he did get up a couple times off bottom, but one thing that threw me off was like his hand control. So we do at our gym, we do like a lot of cross wrist get ups and kind of like posting on the shoulder. But he was really good at keeping a cross wrist the whole time on bottom. So it made the punching on top hard. And I feel like it's an easy fix to be able to, in the future, to be able to get more punches and moving positions. But yeah, that kind of threw me off. I was surprised. And I also thought 3rd, 4th, and 5th round there'd be less of it, but he was game the whole time. And I feel like he was kind of just defending himself. He did throw up an armbar. That was impressive. But yeah, those are the couple things that I didn't expect.
Yeah. And so what was your game plan going into the fight? Was it to wrestle him? Because Mike is known as a pretty good striker. So was your game plan to nullify that and hold him on the floor?
Yeah, so my coaches and I put all my trust in my coaches. They're really the best coaches around. And my coaches wanted me to wrestle heavy, especially the first 2 or 3 rounds, and get him tired. And what we were going to do, and what I think we did, is drown him. I feel like we took him to deep waters. I feel like I could have fought several more rounds, and I feel like that's where the finish would have came. Mm-hmm. If we had a couple more rounds. But yeah, they wanted me to wrestle heavy, especially the first 3 rounds. And then if I felt comfortable, if I wanted to strike with him in the 4th and 5th, like do that. And I feel like because of my wrestling, he was scared of getting taken down, that I feel like I did better in the boxing. Mm-hmm. I've rewatched the fight now 3 or 4 times, and I feel like I won most exchanges. I went out of there. I didn't have any marks on me. I had a tiny little lump right here on my forehead that was gone by the locker room. We put a press on it, and it was gone by the time I got out to the stands. Mm-hmm. So, that was the game plan.
Good. So you kind of came out unscathed, injury-free, I suppose?
Yeah, totally. 100%. It was a good showing.
Yeah. How was the weight cut for the fight?
It was easy, super easy weight cut. About a week out, I was like 153, 154. I lost 2 or 3 pounds within that week, and then I cut 6 pounds on Thursday, 5 or 6 pounds on Thursday. Floated a pound, and then I was in. It was one of the easier weight cuts. Well, I've never really had a hard weight cut, actually. I've wrestled my whole life, and I've cut weight a lot. So now in my MMA career, I'm used to it. Mm-hmm. So I haven't had a bad weight cut yet. But and I hope I don't have one. So, knock on wood real quick. But it was an easy weight cut. It was good.
That's good. What did you? Do you know what you walked into the cage? Your weight was walking in fight night.
Yeah, it was like 152, 153. I pretty much gained. So I got up to 155 or 156, but on Friday weigh-in. So Friday night I was like 155, and that was just pure rehydrating and stuff. I had a couple real good big meals, and then throughout the night and the next morning I lost 3 or 4 pounds, and then I gained another pound after my workout Saturday morning. But yeah, I was just walking around 152, 53.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite meal or something you like to drink after you finally make weight?
Yeah, so I have I use these electrolytes in protein shakes. The company's called Just Ingredients. It's an awesome company. And they basically, kind of like what it sounds, there's just very few ingredients in all of their stuff. And so I always have a protein shake after. I always have like 2 servings of electrolytes. And then this time around, I brought deer steak with me and a sweet potato. So basically, right after I made weight, I drank my electrolytes. And then I think I had 3 or 4 pieces of steak, half a sweet potato. I let that stuff settle. And then I had a protein shake. And then after we did face-offs and everything like that, I ate the rest of my food. And then I had a bunch of water on my way home. I traveled back after weigh-ins, so I lived 2.5 hours away. I drove there for weigh-ins, got there at 10:30 or whatever, and then drove back home, and then drove back out there Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, and then came home that night. So it was a little hectic, but
that was the night of the big storm, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, how was that? How was driving back Saturday night?
Yeah, no, it was a little crazy. I was super thankful actually. So we have a Ford Explorer, 2 kids, and in breaking news, actually, I got a third on the way. Super.
Congratulations!
I appreciate that. So yeah, family man, and the Explorer was great in the snow. Like, I mean, obviously we weren't flying back, but it does really good in the snow. So I was thankful for that.
That's good. Did you stay all night, or did you just kind of? Were you later? Well, you were later in the card, right?
Yeah, I was the third to last fight, which it was, the highest up I've been in a fight card. Yeah, the highest up I've been in a fight card. So I could be wrong. I know when I go back and watch the stream, I was like 3.5 hours into the start. So yeah, I fought around 10:30. Then that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty late.
Yeah, it was good. It's funny, I have kids, and normally I get to bed decently early. Not too early, but decently early. So I was like, hopefully I won't be tired. And I wasn't, everything that's going around fight night and stuff like that, like it's pretty hard to get tired. Well, I do feel bad though for people like, you've seen the last Leon fight with, Bilal Muhammad. They were in London, I believe it was London, and he was fighting at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. That would suck. Like, I can't imagine doing something like that. And if I make it to the big leagues and stuff, it's definitely possible that something like that will happen in the future. I won't be looking forward to that if that happens.
That'd be pretty wild.
No, can you imagine fighting at 4 a.m.? Man, Jesus.
So during your fight week, unfortunately, you lost your dad during that week, the week leading up to your fight. How did that affect you going into your fight?
I don't like. I mean, the emotions were high, but it didn't affect me that much. So I talked to my coach that same day, and he basically was like, "We're behind you no matter what. If you want to pull out, 100% understand, and if you feel like you have to fight, 100% understand. Take your time. Let me know." And I told him that night that I was still going to fight, and throughout I trained that whole week, and basically we just talked about, trying not to get too emotional and, trying to go out there and knock him out in the first round, not getting a knockout or something like that, and just being tired for the next 4 rounds. So we just really wanted to keep it under control. And so I don't think it necessarily affected me physically. But I had a lot of pressure. That was another thing. I had so much pressure on me because on social media and stuff, so many people were reaching out to me and basically being like, do this for your father, do this for your father. And which I totally understand. And I have something similar happened to me in college when I was wrestling at a national tournament. My uncle actually died that week. He was murdered. And then I was getting the same thing too. People were like, do it for your uncle. So it was kind of like a flashback, deja vu type of thing where everybody was saying that. So I had a lot more pressure on me, but we stayed cool, calm, collected the whole time. We didn't rush anything, and we did what we did best. We really focused on myself instead of focusing on Mike, and it turned out good.
It's good, nice. So after this win, you're still an amateur. Are you looking to take a couple more amateur fights, or are you kind of looking to go pro? Because all 3 of your last fights have been for titles.
Yeah, so we're going to have a few more amateur fights, and the reason why is I want to make sure that I'm 100% ready. I think I can go out there and beat a lot of pro guys now, and I know I can for a fact because I've trained with a lot of pro guys and like sparring wise and stuff. Like I've beaten up on a lot of pro guys, but what I really want to do is not protect my record professionally. I want to fight the best guys professionally as well, but I want to make sure I'm 100% ready. Because I have different goals than everybody else. Like most people in Maine, most people in New England, their goals are to be, maybe to win an amateur title, something like that. Maybe it's kind of, amateur, maybe it's kind of a hobby. But that's not me. I want to support my family doing this, and I want to make money to be able to give back to the community, to God and stuff like that. So it's really important to me to take it slow, make sure that I'm 100% ready and be able to do damage right away once I hit pro. So I'm going to most likely have 2 more fights. I think April 11th, Artist Scrap, Indiana. May 3rd, New England fights. Most likely. Everything could change, but most likely those 2. I'm going to have another child. I'm going to be a father again for a little bit, take a little bit of time off, come back, probably 1 more amateur fight after that, probably cut to 135. And then after that, if everything goes good, I'm probably going to go pro at the end of this year, beginning of next year, something like that. But that's the plan, and so far I've stuck to the plan pretty good. So that's most likely what's going to happen.
Nice. That's a pretty nice, long, in-depth, detailed outline of your career. That's good, though, to have, set goals. By this point, you want to be here, and then for the next 6, you want to be here,
Yeah, so, I'm 25 years old, man, so, I'm still young, but I'm not, I'm not super young, there's people getting in the UFC now that are teenagers and stuff, so it's I got to take it slow, but I can't take it too slow, so I'm trying to find that happy medium and play my cards right. And I've talked to my wife about this. This is for a career. This is to make money. So I need to know when I'm not going to be able to do that as well. So, 4 or 5 years go down the line, I'm not in a big organization. I only have an okay record, something like that. I'm not getting phone calls. I got to know it's also time to hang it up to be able to provide for my family. But at the same time, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think I'm going to be able to make it to the big leagues and go from there. So
yeah, would you consider doing a rematch with Joe Sway?
I would down the line. So the funny thing is, I don't remember if I told you, but last time I went down and trained with them, I stayed at their coach's house for a week, and I created a pretty good relationship. I trained he was my training partner all week, and he's actually a really good guy. The thing is, I think Chael Sonnen said this best. He's he basically said he would fight his friends because they deserve a paycheck too, something along those lines. So like, I think he's also pro now too. I think he's making his pro debut soon. So, but would I in the future in a different organization? Yeah, in a profession. Yeah, then 100%. But there's no need to now. There's plenty of people to go around. But you know what I mean? We both get in the big leagues. We're both making actual money. Heck yeah, I'll fight anybody, especially since we have that history. then most likely, you know, you'll make even more money. But yeah, for now, we're gonna hold off. I want to, I do want to fight the best though.
Yeah,
I want to fight the best. I need the most experience I can. There's only so many people in New England area, so.
Yeah. Do you have any names off the top of your head who you would like to fight for those upcoming dates for Art of Scrap or NEF?
Most likely for Art of Scrap, I'm going to be fighting someone from Indiana or one of those surrounding states. Yeah. So I don't have any names for that. I hope Mike throws me a hard guy. I want good competition. And then in May, most likely that's going to be 145 too. So if I can fight for the belt again, that would be awesome. I'd love to bring the NEF belt back to my gym. So I know they just fought for one, so hopefully that guy's ready by then. And if he's not, then whatever. Like, I mean, I'll fight someone else. But for those two events, that for sure.
Nice. And then you said later on down the year you want to go to 135.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight 135 professionally, and like I said, it's gonna be. I'm taking it real serious. And
would that be an easy weight cut for you?
I think it's going to be harder than 145, but I think it will be. We're going to do it right. I'm going to kind of change my body a little bit, and I'm going to hopefully, you know, get walking around like 150 beforehand, and then, you know, throughout fight camp, I'm going to do it right, lose another 5 pounds or so. So like in the end, same thing. I'm only cutting 10 pounds max. So I think once again, it's going to be a pretty easy weight cut. But it depends how my body reacts. So when I wrestled in high school, I wrestled actually 106, 120, 132. And then in college, I wrestled at 141 both years. And I was like maintaining that weight all year round, or not all year, throughout the wrestling season. So, I think especially college, you know, I was walking around 150, cutting down to 41 every week. I think I can do the same thing, except just another 6 pounds. But that 6 pounds is going to be a night before weigh-in, not the morning of weigh-in. And then I'm going to have, you know, 30 hours or more to hydrate. So I think it's going to be an easy cut. I think it's quote unquote like what's easy, but it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be manageable.
Manageable for sure.
Yeah. Nice. What kind of made you want to go to 135?
So it's just so I want to go 135 because looking as if I can like foresee the future and seeing like how far can I go into this, and you know, if we're talking about, you know, UFC, one championship, PFL, something like that, these guys, I'm on the same rank of like, I think like there shouldn't be any weight cutting. They're like very minimal, like same thing. Day of weigh-ins, like you weigh in, you're walking around weight, let's go fight. So I think that's fair. But what really won't be fair is if I'm still walking around 150, 155, fighting 145, and these guys are cutting from 170 or more. Yeah. And then you know, now these guys could be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", which it's just going to be more fair, and it's going to put me in the same spot as everybody else if I'm cutting to 135, because I'm not a very big 145 at all. And 135, it's going to put me like the middle of the road. Yeah. Especially if I'm walking around at 150, fighting 135 pro, like we gotta face reality, and that's a middle of the road 135 pounder and pro in a big organization. So that's why to be on a level playing field.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. You know, normally most people would rather go down in weight rather than go up in weight.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, like I mean, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish I could fight at 155. I like just naturally my
Mm-hmm.
walk around weight. I wish I could do that, but like same thing.
Yeah.
It's just not the case. Like so, I've trained around at a lot of different gyms and stuff like that, and you
Mm-hmm.
run into these people. Like for example, I've been to the New England Cartel, right, with my
Mm-hmm.
coach John Dupree, and
Mm-hmm.
just talking to some of those guys. There's a lot of pro fighters. There's a lot of guys actually in the UFC that was training there. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you're a 145 pound. Like for example, Kelvin Cater, the
Mm-hmm.
owner of the organization that we just worked for, he was
Yeah.
in the gym when I was down at the Cartel before he moved to Canada,
Yeah.
and it's just like, dude, this guy is a skyscraper over me. He is humongous compared to me,
Yeah.
dude. And it's just like, this guy is a 145 pounder.
Yeah.
It's insane. If we were both in the cage at the same time, you would be like, what happened here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why that, like, I mean, just those, and same thing. It's happened at different gyms too.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I wanted to do my actual walk around weight, 155, dude, these guys are monsters. These guys are cutting from 190. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. Like, F cutting weight, but Jesus, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So how was you've been I think about like a week out after your fight now. Are you letting the body heal, rest, or are you kind of right back into it, kind of training?
Yeah, so almost every single fight I've had, other than when I took a 3 week notice fight. Actually, last time when I won this belt the first time, it was a 3 week notice, and it was right after when I fought Nick Eldridge.
Okay.
I didn't take a break that time, but every fight other than that, I go back to the gym Monday, Saturday after the fight, and I talk to my coaches. We watch the fight. I do the boxing and grappling class, and then I go home, and then I'll be home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I start fresh training the week after. So I take a week off after my fight, and it's basically just to be with my family. Like, I mean, I train 20-ish hours a week after working 40 hours. So I leave 7 o'clock, give or take, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then I get home 8 o'clock at night on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So it's hard, especially having kids and a wife. I'm gone. Like, I mean, I'm home Wednesday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then it's like a restart again. So yeah, I take a week off, spend it with the family, and then it'll be back to work on Monday.
Nice. All right, thank you for coming on to the show today, Danny. Congratulations on your big victory, defending your 145-pound title. The floor is yours. Please feel free to give any shout-outs, anything. The floor is yours.
Hey, thank you, Giuliano. So, yeah, I'd just like to thank my friends and family and all my supporters. You guys are the best. All my sponsors, same thing. I would make absolutely no money at all amateur if I didn't have sponsors. So it makes it somewhat worth it being an amateur fighter with the few sponsors I have. And then, like I said in the cage, man, all glory to God. I'm a man of faith, and I really everything goes to Him. And then my coaches are the best, man. Shout out to Darren Elder, Henry Clark, Tyler. They're truly the best. So if you want to come train, you want to win titles, come to Recon. And that's it, man. I appreciate you having me on again. I think what you're doing is awesome, and I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to be doing these interviews with you, hopefully in the big leagues.
Yeah.